Kia ora everybody, welcome back to the channel and to our favourite video of the month, the wrap up for the previous month's completed work in progress pages. So I have February's list in front of me. February was an interesting month for me. I ended up not being very well both mentally and physically, so I ended up taking a little bit of time for myself, which meant in the first half of the month, I did a ton of colouring. And then in the second half of the month, I basically played video games. I also had a laptop die. So I'm working on a brand new laptop, and I've also had a bunch of lights blown around my apartment that I'm still trying to source someone to come in and swap light bulbs for me because I can't climb up on a ladder. So yeah, it's been a heck of a month and my nails have paid the price. So yeah, but in all of that, I did manage to finish off 15 pages overall. And of those 15 pages, 3 of them were existing work in progress pages, and 1 of them was a very old work in progress page, which is really cool to see. And also in my goal of trying to work more of my bookshelf, we managed to increase my shelf a little bit. I worked in 6 new books, which means I've now worked in 37.7% of my collection, which is up 1%. I did, however, get 11 new books this month. It was a month of a lot of orders coming in, and I found a bunch of books secondhand, which was really cool as well. So yeah, we've got quite a bit worked, but quite a bit still to work to get more of the shelf done. However, the shelf is getting coloured. Like, we're getting more and more pink in here. So I think I've still got a couple more to go in here and colour in, because I feel like I haven't actually coloured a couple of the other books that I've worked in yet, but I'll come back and do that afterwards. But it's slowly getting filled up. The other big thing that happened this month is the store that I buy my Colouring Heaven magazines from closed down. So I won't be getting Colouring Heaven anymore unless I purchase a subscription, which I'm hesitant to do. So yeah, sadness about that, but I understood. It was time for the owners to retire, and yeah. So let's get into this. So we'll start with a bunch of Lulu Mayo, because I did end up doing a bit in Lulu Mayo, which was really, really fun. So the first one I will show is A Million Little Monsters. And this one is an old work in progress. So I had started this one quite a while ago. I think I might have done it for a colouring group prompt to for like candy and desserts and stuff like that, and I just hadn't managed to finish it. So yeah, I don't know, I was just in the mood to finish it off this month, so I did. This one I used Prismacolors. It is based with Crayola Super Tips, and there is Posca in the background as well as in the highlights. So yeah, that was a good one to get finished off from the list. And then I have a page in A Million Cute Animals. Now this is actually my first one in this book, so that's nice to get a new book done. And this is actually a buddy colour with J.I. Colorist. So I approached him about buddying in this book because they're trying to complete it, and I had never worked in here, so I wanted to work in here. And we decided on this gorgeous owl page. It is actually the very last page. It's easy to find. And this is my one here. There is so much glitter on this page, but it was very, very fun. So I used Crayola Super Tips in the background, but as I colored onto a plastic chopping tray and then picked them up like watercolor to create sort of like a watercolor background. Did bleed for a little bit, so I've got to clean that up on the next page, but that's future Amy's problem. And then I used Prismacolors and Posca and Stickles to just outline everything and give everything a bit of a glow and add all the stars. And yeah, it was very simple but very fun. A very good one to do when I was physically ill in bed. I did all of these Lulu Mayos while I was in bed. And I will make a point of inserting J.I. Colorist version here, which is absolutely gorgeous. Please go and check out her channel as well. She's absolutely lovely, and it was a joy to buddy up with her on this page. And thank you for helping me crack into the book. Right, and then I did a page in A Million Llamas, which was actually my first Lulu Mayo colouring book. And this one was also a buddy colour. This one was a buddy colour with Happy Catastrophe, who is also absolutely lovely. And I had a blast doing this one. So this one we chose because of it being February and Valentine's and the heart, which is really, really fun. And yeah, I just kind of went for it on this page, and it's so like the gold is so sparkly in the glitter. But yeah, it was a lot of fun just to sort of throw things at the page. So I used the Crayola Super Tips as the watercolor in the background again, and I based everything with the Super Tips and then went over it with Prismacolor to colour it in, Poscas to go over all the outlines, Stickles for all the glitter, and then Kaisercraft Shimmer Spray for all the gold. Yeah, it was really simple, but just really fun, really colourful, and again, just another good one to just do in bed when I really wasn't feeling that great. So I churned these all out in pretty much a day. I was just having a bed day. So yeah, and I will make sure to also insert Happy Catastrophe's picture here. Not only has she done this one, but she's also done the page next to it as well, which was awesome to see. I reached out to her after she mentioned that she also wanted to get into A Million Llamas. Like me, she's trying to work more of her shelf this year, and I happened to see her video mentioning she hadn't worked in A Million Llamas, and so I reached out to her to ask if she would like help to crack into it, and then that gave me a buddy colour as well. So thank you again for buddying up with me, Candace. It was a joy to work on this with you, and hopefully we can do it again. So those are the 3 pages that I did in Lulu Mayo. And then a new artist that I worked in this month was Millie Marota. So I had 2 Millie Marota books, and then I brought a third one because this is one I've had my eye on for a while. I love sea creatures, so understandable, I'd be drawn to this one. But we'll start off with the Island Escape one, which I really love. Now this was another buddy colour. So this was a buddy colour with Perfection Cider on Twitch. They are also on Instagram, so I will make sure I also link their Instagram. Same with anyone else I buddy up with. I'll put all the contact details down below, and hopefully I've been putting them on your screen. But they particularly love Millie's work and knew that I hadn't worked in Millie yet, so reached out about buddying up. And this is one of the pages that they suggested, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed doing this page. I've been putting off Millie because I was just like, I don't know, but yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this page with all the little sections, just working away slowly in bed. It was just a really good, brainless but enough detail to keep me entertained page. So I feel like I'm going to end up doing a bit more Millie in the future. So for the background, I've used Distress Inks, and then this is just Prismacolor. Because I was working in bed, I had my Prismacolors in bed, so a lot of the pages this month are Prismacolor because that's what I had in bed. But yeah, I really love how this came together, and I'll make sure I also show Perfection's page as well for you, which is just so glittery because it's entirely done in glitter gel pens, which I kind of want to try as well. So yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. And thank you once again for reaching out and encouraging me to start in Millie's books. And then because I enjoyed that page in Island Escape so much, dropping my books, I ended up grabbing Secrets of the Sea and trying a page in here. However, this one's kind of a disaster. I don't think I even marked it. I did. This one. So I was more just dabbling around with different mediums and seeing how they worked in the book. So there's a mixture of like super tips, brush markers, glitter gel pens, some Poscas. Like, this is me just trialing different media. It's okay. It bled through really badly on this page, which is a shame, but I'm sure I can figure it out. Yeah. I don't like these ones with as much space in them, apparently. I like the ones with lots of little details, but I've still got this side ready to go if I want to. But yeah, it was a good little test of like some different media in the book and how it handles and like how stuff spreads, and yeah. So I'm just kind of considering this a test page, but hey, I did a page. Not every page is going to be a brilliant work of art. Like, sometimes you have disaster pages or pages that are just meh. Right, and the final buddy colour for the month. I did a lot of buddy colours this month. I actually had a few more reach out or lined up to potentially do, but again, I ended up not feeling... The first half of the month, I wasn't feeling physically well, and then towards the end of the month, I started getting quite mentally unwell, so I kind of withdrew and took a bunch of a break at the end of the month. You know, self-care, it's very important. But I was very glad to finally finish this work in progress, which has been on the cards for a while, which is this wonderful page in Mythographic Magical Earth. This is by Joseph Catimbang. Yes, Joseph Catimbang. And this is a buddy colour with the wonderful Smalt, who has also done a gorgeous version of this page too, which I will make sure I insert here and of course tag down below. And yeah, I am very pleased with how this one turned out. This one took me way longer than I thought it would, but sometimes it happens. So the background is Inktense and gouache, and then the foreground is Inktense, polychromos pencils, stickles, Posca. I think that's everything that I ended up using. Yeah, because there's just a little touch of stickles just in the center of the flowers, because I just want a little bit of glitter. And then all the other detail work. But I really, really am enjoying the Mythographic book series. The paper quality is fantastic, the detail is fantastic, and I actually got 2 new Mythographic books this month because I've been enjoying Mythographic so much. Which, speaking of, one of my other newly worked books this month is Mythographic Crystal Kingdom. So this one just came out this month. This one is by new artist Weronika Kolinska. I am probably pronouncing that wrong, and I do apologize. I really like this book. I know there's some people who've seen it and been like, you know, but I think it's got a lot of really interesting images. So I'm excited to do more in here. I didn't unfortunately do a flip through because, again, I just wasn't feeling great. But there are plenty of flip throughs on YouTube already. And this is my completed page. So I really enjoyed working on this one. This one is Inktense and then polychromos pencils. There is a little bit of Posca, and then there's also some Mod Podge Extreme glitter on all the little gems as well. And yeah, one of the things I love about Mythographic is the paper quality is so good. I can work directly on the page with Inktense, and like you don't have to keep working it. You can just have Inktense as your base layer. All the hair is just Inktense. So yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun doing this one. I really love her purple skin. I wanted to play around with fun colours, you know? So yeah, I really like how this one turned out. And this is another good one to do while I was in bed. Plus it's a new book, so that's always fun as well. So that was Mythographic Crystal Kingdom. The other new Mythographic I got this month is Dream Garden, but I haven't worked in that one yet. So another new book that I worked in was Autumn Charm by Teresa Goodridge. We are heading into autumn here. It's in the southern hemisphere in New Zealand. And I don't know, I was just in the mood to do a bit of an autumnal page. I just wanted to play around, and I wanted to do a Teresa Goodridge page. So this was pulled out as my option. So this one uses Inktense and Polychromos pencils and a little bit of Posca for the water highlights. And I really just wanted to play around with different colours in the water and like a real full autumnal palette. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. I had a lot of fun like doing the golden glow on stuff, and like all the rocks have got like a little yellow in it, and the house has got a little yellow in it, and the water reflects with all the different colours, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. And it was a pretty easy one to do in bed too, especially with the Inktense. The Inktense made it very, very quick. So that was Teresa Goodridge, Autumn Charm. So, one of the work in progress pages, because I took some time off this month and then had my computer die on me, so I had to take more time off while I scrambled to get my laptop replaced, I didn't quite finish off this page here. So normally I have a page on the go at the time. Let me reword that. The reason why I'll never have 0 work in progress pages is because there's always multiple pages on for certain things. There's usually one for YouTube, one for Patreon, one for personal, and one for Twitch or live streams, because I also live stream to YouTube at the same time. So live stream page. This has been my live stream page for the past month, but because I haven't been able to live stream as much recently, I haven't been able to put as much time into it, which means this is now still a work in progress a month later. We have made progress, like it is getting there, and I am loving how it's progressing. So this is all done entirely with Polychromos pencils. It is really starting to come together. It's really, I've just got to finish her off. I've just got to finish her clothes and those little vines up the top. Like, it is very close to being done. And maybe this Sunday when I stream, which if I get this video up today is tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe I can get it finished. It would be really nice to get it done. It's very close. It's just finishing her off. So, yeah. But we did make some progress on it, and it is one of my work in progresses this month. Wait, couple more. Actually, let's bring across the PDFs, because I've also got some big PDFs that I worked on. Speaking of Jash Lee, I also have this page here. Now, I cannot pronounce this goddess's name. This is a Filipino goddess, and it is part of Jash Lee's new PDF set. And what was absolutely incredible was Jash saw my work in progress on the other page and reached out to me and asked if I'd be willing to colour this page for him. And then he also gave me 2 other PDFs as payment for doing so. And I was like, yeah, I love your work. I'll take some free PDFs. So I got on to colouring this, and I had an absolute blast doing it. We tuned it out in almost one entire stream because I was going for it. The background is gouache and Inktense, and then she is based in Inktense with polychromos pencils and then some Posca as well for all the highlights, especially on all the gold details. So much gold. And yeah, it was just a real blast to bring it together. The other two pages are gorgeous as well, so I do plan on doing them eventually. But yeah, as I said, I got sick, so I didn't carry on colouring much after this one. But absolutely adored how it came together and was very blessed to get a bunch of PDFs for free. And I'll make sure I will link the set down below because there are some really gorgeous pages in there. And stunning work. So, and it's fun to see representations of other cultural elements that maybe aren't as traditionally represented as well. And then the other thing that I did this month was I did a piece of original art. So I am trying to do more and more original art this year as well and really focus on pushing myself to do more original art. I still love colouring. I still plan on doing a lot of colouring, but I'd like to try and do at least a piece of original art per month. So this one's actually a character design for a lovely acquaintance of mine through Fate of Ison, which is a podcast that I help moderate on. There was a new character that was introduced this week, so this is not the full finalized image. I also plan on doing a background for it, but the background was going to be done digitally, like added in digitally, and that was the day my computer decided to die. So yeah, I've still got to do a watercolor splatter and then add that in separately and then bring it together to create the final image. So hopefully I'll get onto that today, but this part with all the pencils is done. It's now just splashing some ink on a page, letting it dry, scanning both sides, putting them together, boom, final image. But at least I got this up for the live show on Wednesday, which, you know, luckily they understood because, you know, the computer died. What could I do? But yeah, this has been done with, I sketched it out. I used some Inktense and water, Albert Dürer watercolor pencils to base everything and then went over it with polychromos pencils to shade, a little bit of Posca just to bring in some highlights on the eyes and the buckles. And then this is a washi tape as well, just to add some passion and detail to the page. It's one of my favourite things to do for clothes is to use washi tape. But I really love how that one came together too. Alright, I still got a couple more pages. Johanna Basford's Worlds of Wonder. I have finally finished. Finally. And I mean finally finished this page. This has been a work in progress for I don't know how long. It started off very much being inspired by Chris Chen. I feel like a lot of us got inspired by Chris Chen tackling this page. So you can see, you know, the crystals and the start down here. And then I just carried on through and was just like, meh, and just started making up my own for the rest of it. But it was a good start for down there. So yeah, I just used Prismacolor pencils for this one. I think originally there might be some Signo white gel pen down here. I'm not sure what the glitter is. I think that was before my stickles. This one is stickles. And then there's also some Mod Podge Extreme glitter there. And then that one's definitely Posca for the middle of the butterflies with the silver metallic. It's kind of, because this one has been in progress for years, there's a lot of different materials on here. I am not looking forward to when I eventually do this other side and have to try and match some of this stuff up, because that's going to be a challenge. But also, I was like, I'm done. I did this half, I'm done. Yeah, that's future Amy's problem. But I am very glad that this half is finally done, because, again, it's been in progress for years. I think 2021 I might have started this. It's been a long time. a book that I haven't pulled out in a long time, Fledging Fairies. So February is traditionally February, so I did want to do a couple of Fae. Fledgling Fairies is also one of my most completed colouring books, so I figured I'd just do another one in here, because I am getting close to completing this book. And we did this fairy flower bouquet page. So this one I used Crayola Super Tips to base the fairy, and then I went over everything with Prismacolor pencils. The background, I pulled out my distress inks and just put a bunch of colour down, and then I used the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter just to add all the glitter to the page, because, you know, she needed sparkles. So it was really simple, but really effective, very quick, very fun, and got another gorgeous Christine Karron page done. I really love the blue here. I feel like I've done this combo before for this fairy. Yeah, I gave her slightly bluer hair there, but I love doing her hair blue. She features a couple of times in here. So yeah, there's another version over there. But yeah, this book is getting like very close to being completed. I think I've got about 10 pages left in Fledgling Fairies. So we're not far from completing it. I would like to complete it as well. Not that I have like a goal of necessarily completing a book, but also I have Wildflower Folk, and I didn't want to touch Wildflower Folk until I finished Fledgling Fairies. But of course I have a goal to work in more of my untouched books this year, so I kind of feel like I need to finish Fledgling Fairies so I can work in that book, but I could just go and work in that book. I don't know. You know, we make these funny rules for ourselves sometimes. And then the last book that I have is Fairy Celebrations by Klara Markova. So this was a wonderful piece of happy mail that got gifted to me in the month of February. I am forever grateful to have this dream book of mine. I've always wanted to have a Klara Markova book. And this month, with me not feeling well and doing so much in bed, this became one of my go-to books because it's a hardcover, it's a perfect bed size, but it's also very sweet and fun and just a blast to work in. So I've actually done quite a bit in here. So we'll start off with the first page that I did, which was this Fairy Dragons page and the companion page. I didn't know if I was going to do the matching page while I was at it, but I ended up doing it for a couple of them. So this was the first one that I did. I wish I pushed the shading more, because when I started removing the lines with the Posca, I realized I lost a bunch of the shading, but I also don't mind it. So yeah, I don't know why I decided to remove the lines with Posca, but I just decided to do it, and I think it's really fun. I just wanted to colour something bright and colourful and happy, and these little Fey Dragon eating strawberries just really made me happy. And then this cute little image on the side too. So yeah, it's entirely done with Prismacolor, Posca, and Stickles for the glitter as well. So that was the first page. And then I felt like doing another one in here, and I wanted to test some new mediums. So I did the cover page. This time I used Inktense and Polychromos pencils, and also some Posca for highlights and stuff. And I was really impressed with how these handled in this book as well. Both the Prismacolor and the Polychromos and Inktense all handled really beautifully in this book. So absolutely loved working with all of this material in here. And I was very happy with my happy little house and these cute little mushrooms. And yeah, it was just a good little fun one. Then I wasn't quite done in there, so I decided to also do the nameplate page, which I haven't actually written the name in yet, but that's okay. So this one is Inktense, Polychromos pencils, and Posca, and then Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. And the ink tends to go a bit patchy in the background. It probably could do with another coat if I wanted a more even, solid colour. But it kind of also just looks like a foggy night sky, so I'm not entirely mad at it, you know? But yes, very glittery, very sparkly. And then I still wasn't quite done, so I started working on one more, and this one's actually the cover page. So I did take inspiration from the cover colours because I do really like them. So at this stage, it just has the Inktense base. It's still got a lot of work to go on it, but this is about the middle of the month where I started running out of steam and then just stopped colouring and instead switched to video games for about a week and a half because that's what I needed at the time. So yeah, that was everything I coloured in the month of February. We're now heading into March. March plans, I don't have a lot. I'm also still dealing with some stuff. So I haven't taken on any buddy colours yet this month. I'm not entirely sure if I will. I feel like this month I just need to focus on colouring whatever I want to colour and not put pressure on myself to work in new books or finish off work in progresses. It's just a case of I just need to get back into colouring and just focus on colouring whatever I like. So that's my only goal, is just get into colouring and enjoy colouring, whatever that may entail. But I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Please let me know down below what was your favourite page, because I always love hearing what you guys love to see. If there's any pages that you're like, oh, I think you should work more on this one, or, you know, what are you working on this month? I just like hearing from you guys, so please let me know down below. A big thank you again to all my lovely buddy colours who helped me complete so many pages in the month of February. Very grateful. And make sure you look after yourselves. I will see you all in the next video. Bye!